Welcome to Booze and Glues, a justifiable excuse for two friends to spend time together, cross crafts off their to-do list, and, of course, drink. With glue guns and wine glasses at the ready, join Jessye Shepherd and Tabitha Davis as they attempt to simultaneously chat, craft, chug and charm. Will they consume alcohol? Definitely. Will they actually accomplish anything? Debatably. Will they bitch and complain? Inevitably. Will it be a bloody good time? Absolutely. And if things don't turn out just as planned, well, that's okay too. Because booze!
You put on chapstick now. I have to put on chapstick.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's like yawning.
My lips have been real chapped lately. Yeah, I'm like falling apart lately. It's pretty much like the moral of the story. So we hadn't played volleyball in a long time because, Christmas is happening and all this. It's weird. So we go to this open gym and there's really not that many college students that go. It's pretty much all locals.
Yeah.
And most of us are not even college age. But for some reason, when the college people are gone, card is like, no more open gym. And we're like, why? We're all still here.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah. But, there was a lot of holidays on the weekends and stuff anyways.
Right. Well, and you have to figure that time of year. People are doing a million other things.
Yeah,
so.
which is fine. So we didn't play volleyball for a long time.
You had time to play volleyball amongst your 25-day countdown to Christmas. Right?
Sure. And so I went back yesterday and I am like hurting.
Oh.
Well, like the last probably like 3 months or so that we've been playing, my shoulder's been hurting. Like we usually play for, it's like 1 or 2 hours. And like by the end of the first hour, and like especially if we play for 2 hours, my shoulder's been really bad. So I have to figure out what's wrong. But for some reason yesterday it was like really bad. So now I like can't lift my shoulder like past here. Especially if I'm like holding something that's even remotely heavy. And
my shoulder did that when I was in high school and I played softball.
My boss had a frozen shoulder that she had to get like surgery on, so she keeps telling me that's gonna happen to you. I'm like, thanks, Trish. But so I'm a little nervous about that. But
How old was she when she had to have her surgery?
It was not that long ago. So
I was gonna say, I'm like, you're half
older,
that age,
but
your body heals a lot better.
Yeah, but it's every week now. It like hurts. So
like a chronic thing, which means you're gonna have to give it time to heal.
I didn't play for like 2 months.
Maybe I guess that wasn't enough time.
So, but yeah, my whole body is like, my neck hurts. Like for some reason, my abs hurt really bad. Like whose abs get sore after volleyball? I'm not sure.
Sometimes my abs hurt real bad just if I have a good laugh. Because that's how out of shape I am.
So I'm falling apart. I feel about 70.
Yeah.
And my lips are super chapped because it's winter. So my whole life is...
It's just the tip of the iceberg.
Don't make me laugh too hard. My abs hurt.
Don't make me laugh.
This is not going to be a funny podcast. No. Don't put this one under comedy.
Don't. Even though all of the podcasts I listen to, even the ones that are like serious or under comedy, and I'm like, what other kinds are there?
Well,
all other podcasts must be so boring.
This is what I was just going to tell you beforehand. I listened to a podcast. I feel like, I just don't think I'm like a podcast listener. I've said that before. I don't know.
And I haven't really pushed any that I listen to on you, but I'm going to.
Yeah, well, so I went to the gym the other night, and I usually like lift weights and stuff, and I'm with my mom, so listening to podcasts isn't really going to work because we're talking half the time.
Right.
So I just like to have some background music. But I went by myself, and I was just going to like be on the treadmill because I just needed to go. And my body was hurting, so I didn't want to do a lot of heavy lifting. And so I'm like, I'm going to listen to a podcast. And so I'm like searching through the comedy stuff to try to find like somebody that I know that's interesting. And I was like, gonna listen to Joe Rogan. And then I was like, you know what? I've already listened to one of his podcasts. I should branch out and try something different. And then so I'm searching through, and Anna Faris has a podcast.
That's right.
And I really like Anna Faris. And
I forgot that she has a podcast.
Yeah, so then I was looking through all her episodes because she's got, a different guest star.
Right.
Every episode. And then, so the first one I found that I was like super interested in, I love Dax Shepard.
Oh, God.
I think he's freaking hilarious.
And his wife.
Oh, my gosh.
Is the most adorable human.
If I could be her, I would be her.
On the face of the earth. Have you watched her new show?
No, but I want to.
Oh, my God.
Is it good?
I love it. The, first episode, she's, the premise is that she's in heaven,
right?
Quote unquote or whatever, but she tries to cuss and she goes, "What the fork?" And then they're like, "You can't cuss here. You're in heaven. You're in the good place." That's what it's called, the good place. It's the best show ever. I'm sure she needs our publicity.
Yeah, I really like her.
It's
and
so
him.
cute, and she's so cute.
She is.
Have you seen her cry over a sloth?
Yes.
Oh my gosh,
she's the funniest lady.
So great.
And Dax is hilarious
Dax is
too.
So great. They're couple goals.
Right. I wish I could say that this podcast was awesome.
It was not.
It was just...
It probably is awesome, but it's not awesome for you. Let's
that
not
could
throw
be.
shade.
That could be. Anna Faris, I still like you. Just a weird podcast, okay?
Wasn't your thing.
No. And
gotcha.
I'm
I haven't
sure...
listened to hers. I've think about it in the back of my mind, but I feel like I have so many all the time.
Yeah, well, and maybe I could listen to more, and sometimes when you just listen to something in the middle, and
yeah,
but and they had a person that they talked to on the phone, and she was asking for relationship advice, and Dax gave some very great relationship advice. It just wasn't uber relevant to me. I don't have kids,
right.
So, and I'm not married.
Well, yes,
I'm practically same thing, but
yeah,
we don't have children,
right?
Let alone twins that are 8 months old.
Oh,
which this lady had.
Yikes, that sounds terrifying.
But so yeah, I tried. I'll keep trying.
Well,
I want to find something that's really funny.
Yeah,
I don't think I could listen to something if I wasn't laughing the whole time.
Okay, so I'm gonna get you going on my bim bam.
Ma bim bam.
Yeah, my brother, and me. It's just these three dudes. They talk about the craziest stuff. It is laugh out loud hilarious.
Okay.
And their premise when they started it, they've had a podcast for 6 years, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think we talked about that.
The premise was that they're going to answer Yahoo Answer questions, which Yahoo Answers has been slowly dying. And
yes.
Yahoo just got sold.
Right.
And name change and who knows what's going to happen there. But yeah, it's great. And I think that, you're not a person who's easily offended.
That is true.
Because I would not recommend this to a lot of people I know.
It takes a lot to get me offended.
Yeah, if you're pretty okay with hearing just about anything under the sun, you're good.
Cool. I'll have to try it.
I think you should try it. I'll have to find you one of my favorite episodes and get you started on that one because they're great. I haven't even listened to all of them. There's so many, but I've listened to the first 100 and then the last probably year's worth or something.
Jeez.
So yeah. Good news for your shoulder. I brought the giant heavy KitchenAid mixer in.
Thank God, because I actually don't know if I could have mixed cupcakes.
Yeah.
We're making cupcakes today,
We're making
folks.
cupcakes. We
I don't know if you classify this as craft, but we do, because making beautiful cupcakes is a craft.
It's a craft. This is part of my craftiness is baking cute stuff. Now we're not throwing together some Betty Crocker mix.
No.
This isn't just oh, here's a cupcake mix. These are fancy cupcakes.
There's some real life ingredients on the table here, folks.
That's right. From scratch, we're going. And I was actually just looking for something to make for dessert for our small group Bible study. And I just typed desert into my Pinterest, and that didn't work. And I stumbled across these, and I thought, well, why the heck not? So they're Dr. Pepper cupcakes. And look at this picture. We'll pin it.
Those are adorable.
They have little straws sticking out of the frosting.
That's adorable.
So that's why I have the cute straws, cute cupcake liners. They're going to be fancy. They're chocolate buttermilk Dr. Pepper cupcakes.
I love it.
I'm sure they'll be delicious.
Sound like it.
So,
where do we start? Oh, and also we're drinking, because Tab had told me we're making cupcakes tonight, so I brought cupcake wine, because you know us, we're so fancy. That's why we drink. Super is like, I probably spent $100 on this bottle of wine.
Right.
Cupcake brand, you know?
It was a special reserve bottle.
Or maybe 6. That's probably what I spent.
That's also fine. But we are matchy. We're having red wine. We've got our red cupcake. What are the things called? Papers?
Yeah.
There's a word for them.
Cupcake? I don't know.
Anyway, we have cute little papers for our cupcakes that are polka dot red. Everything's red. Well, my kitchen's all red and white, so I'm black.
Mine's all teal.
Oh, that's cute.
Pretty fun.
I also really like that, like, 40s green. You know,
old
school minty green color. And I feel like I want to incorporate that. But then, is it going to get a little too Christmassy?
Maybe. We'll have to throw some swatches in there and see how you feel about it.
I saw really cute. I don't want a butter dish anymore. I hate my butter dish is like crap. Like, it's chipped on the end. You know, I have kids, so everything is broken. And it's like got like chips on it, and it's porcelain. It's cute and it has cherries on it. But having like a butter dish is really obnoxious because, like,
see, I want a butter dish.
But when you put the lid on, then it like smushes the butter, or it gets all over the place. I'm talking about in a utopian world, my butter would be perfect, and I would have this lovely butter dish. But I live in the real world with 3 other boys in the house.
True.
And they are not clean people.
So what do you want to use instead?
I want to get a butter boat. It's like the opposite of a butter dish. You put the butter down in the thing, and then you put the lid on top. So you don't have to worry about the messiness. And I just found one of these on I don't even know where. And so then I started searching them on Amazon, and I found one that's that mint green color. And I was like, oh, but I don't have anything else mint green in my kitchen. So I might have to start splashing some color in.
Splashing some stuff around.
Yeah. Anyway, so we've got all kinds of great ingredients and eggs in warm water because this recipe calls for room temperature eggs.
Wow.
I mean, this recipe is legit. So we're going to have our work cut out for us.
We're going to make some real cupcakes, folks.
I know, I very rarely
Why do I keep saying folks also? Hey, folks!
Our listeners will primarily be of Appalachian descent.
We gonna make some cupcakes, folks.
I don't even know what dialect of an accent that is, so hopefully that doesn't offend anyone because it's not a place that exists. That was great, though.
Blake and I are real winners at accents. We talked about this the other night.
Great at them.
Yeah, actually, more like the worst ever at accents.
That was sarcasm.
Total sarcasm. Blake is the worst.
That's my second language, sarcasm.
One of these days, we're going to have Blake on. I'm going to just say, do this accent, and we're going to see how he does it, and everybody's going to be ultra offended. It's going to be awesome.
Speaking of accents, before we get into cupcakes here, one of the things on Mabim Bam lately was all 3 of them are dads now. 2 of the brothers their wives had babies this last year. And so they were talking about their Donald Duck impressions. And there's this whole bit where they're doing this, show me your Donald, is what they called it. And, they were all doing them. And so it was so funny. I let the boys listen to it, but I don't normally let them listen to the show because it's not age appropriate. But this, certain clip I knew was going to be fine. So I let them listen to it, and, everyone's rolling on the floor laughing. And so now it's a thing in our family. One of them will just walk up and go, show me your Donald. And, you have to do it.
I don't think I could even start to make a Donald Duck impression.
Oh, it is. Jackson is really good at it, except his sound's a little dark. He sounds like a little creepy or something. The rest of us are pretty awful. I mean, really terrible. And so, but it's like hilarious, and you also just like have to not, just get out of yourself and just be like, okay, like for like the sake of the fun,
right?
You just got to do it. So I think maybe we should practice our Donalds.
Blake does a Kermit the Frog impression that he thinks is like
spot on.
And
you're like, no.
It's probably one of his better accents. Is that an accent?
Well, I got into Donald Duck. That's an accent.
It's one of his better impressions, I guess.
And you're over in the corner with a glass of tea going,
right?
That's none of my business.
Yeah.
This isn't great, but that's none of my business.
All right, what are we doing here?
All right, so
lead the troops.
I have got these Dr. Pepper cupcakes snapped onto pictures on my phone so I could just look at them. And we have all the ingredients together. I think it's just going to be a matter of starting. So first we're going to mix in the big bowl the dry ingredients. Okay, so we are going to sift together, and I knew that, and I did not grab my sifter, flour, baking soda, and cocoa powder. And then I am going to go grab the sifter.
Please hold while we grab a sifter.
Okay, I got my sifter. It's not going to be quiet.
Cool.
So we need 2 cups of flour, a teaspoon of baking soda, and a 1/4 cup of unsweetened cocoa powder, which is what we have here. This is baking soda.
2 whats of what?
2 cups of flour. So we gotta probably...
And then how many teaspoons of baking soda?
Just the 1.
Okay.
I'm gonna just pop that in there. You know how you're supposed to like scoop flour into your cup to measure it?
Who cares?
And then level. I'm not the best at doing that. I'm like... I'll try to just kind of like lightly... I don't mean... because you're not like supposed to pack it, So I try to like scoop it and then like... fluff it off, but
yeah.
I don't want to exactly measure things. That makes life so boring. That's probably what you do exactly want to do.
Yeah, always. It's funny to me, like with people's like A-typeness, what is really important to them to be A-typey, and what is not important to them to be A-typey.
I'm totally type A.
Yeah,
but it's like about different things,
right?
I don't know. When I first started working at the retina place that I work at, I found out about this disease of your retina. It's called central serous chorioretinitis.
That sounds scary.
Right. We just abbreviate it CSR, which isn't that scary. And it's this, like, disease where you get this, like, pocket of fluid in your retina, and it makes your vision all blurry. And the only thing that they have ever, like, linked it to is steroid use. Not, like, anabolic steroids, like, medical, like, corticosteroids.
Okay.
Steroid use. And so sleep apnea, which causes a steroid buildup in your system. Your, like, natural steroids that gets released in your system builds up. And people with type A personalities.
Oh.
And I was like, I'm so type A. How have I never had this before? And it's really funny because when people come in and they're there for CSR, you can pick them out before you ever see their diagnosis. Like, I can go, oh, that's a CSR patient. Like, when they come in as a consult, because they're so uptight.
That's funny.
It's crazy. But I'm also, it gives me a little bit of like, well, maybe I'm not that uptight. Right?
Actually, I'd like to think I'm not, but I think everybody at work would agree that I am.
Yeah.
Because I'm like...
Oh, anyone that has to like work with me, I think definitely does.
Which they all know it at this point, so when something goes wrong, I'm like, no! This is not what this should be like! And everybody's like, you're gonna have to just cool it, because this is what it is, and this is life.
You're gonna have to get over it.
And I'm like, no!
Yeah, it's hard for... I've definitely gotten better over the years. And just think, like, you're 25?
26.
You're 26. Okay. I've got many years on you. Like,
just a few.
Of life where I had time to start to get over some of these things. So, eventually you might get there.
Well, it's nice that you've gotten better because, like, Trish, my boss at work, we're like the identical human. We joke about it all the time. We're like the same person. It's a little sick, actually. And she, like, we're kind of both uptight about just the exact same things. And so sometimes we joke about, like, oh, she'll be like, someday you'll get better. I'm like, are you proof of that? She's like, okay, maybe you won't. I'm like, great.
Real encouraging. Thank you so much.
Well, it's great. And we joke about it all the time because we're, you gotta joke about yourself. Mixer has been prepared.
Next, we are gonna do the wet ingredients.
Woohoo! Wet ingredients!
My pictures are kind of all crazy because I, like, took pictures of all the ingredients for this and then the frosting. So then I have to, like, get through to get to the next thing. So we're going to do butter, granulated sugar, brown sugar, eggs, and vanilla, which I've gathered in this general area.
Love it.
And that will get us going. And this thing just says add in all of those and beat until fluffy. About 2 to 3 minutes on low. I told you this lady is real serious about her baking.
Yeah, me, I'm like, beat stuff high for 10 seconds. Cool.
Bam!
Done with that.
Okay. So
but we'll follow rules. We can do that.
We can follow rules. So let's see. 1 cup of unsalted butter. I've got that here. We're going to want to put that in there first and probably get it beating. You know what's funny is
nice and soft.
It's room temperature. I bought this specifically to make these cupcakes, and then last night I got this, like, craving for peanut butter cookies, and I needed unsalted butter, so I used one of the squares, not even thinking about it. Luckily, I only needed 3 for the cupcakes and frosting tonight. That was just by chance.
Love it. Oh, and she's ready with the paper towels.
Everyone at work was real excited, too, when I brought them peanut butter cookies into work.
Nice.
So, it was all good.
I was a good girl today. I've been working, like, a lot extra. Well, not a lot extra, but some extra at work because we're just having a real difficult go at life right now.
Yeah.
But I was going to go in today, and I didn't. I was really proud of myself, so.
Took a day off.
I took a day off.
That is okay. All right. And then, let's see. 1 cup of granulated sugar.
What's after that?
Next is going to be a 1/2 cup of brown sugar packed.
Cool.
And I did, like, pre-read this stuff and actually get all the right measuring tools out. So, that's always helpful.
We are, like, well, Tab is, like, ready to go today.
I wanted to have my very own baking show.
Did you?
Just for today. Not, like, in life in general. Okay. Here we go mixing. This is me mixing the butter on high when you're not supposed to.
Don't tell. I'm going to leave a comment on her thing. I'm going to say, I made this with my friend, and she did not do this according to your directions, okay?
She mixed the butter on high. Okay, I'm just slightly mixing to get all the things in there.
All right, we got some packed brown sugar.
Pop it in there. It's ready to go. Do you want to do the vanilla? We need 2 teaspoons of vanilla.
2 teaspoons.
One of the things I liked on her blog, she was, like, just writing all the different little things that you can do to make this successful. And one of her things was how you need to start with quality ingredients. What did she say? A good butter can make all the difference. I'm like, I use whatever butter happens to be nearby.
Yep. First butter I see that seems normal, I'm like,
that's mine.
Get that one.
Okay, I'm going to crack the eggs into this because I don't like to crack them into things. These still feel kind of cool.
You know what? I think it's going to turn out all right.
I put them in hot water so they would be room temperature, because that seemed real specific. I've never used room temperature eggs before. I mean, not on purpose anyway. Or maybe not intentionally. Like,
this is real life, guys. Room temperature eggs.
Yeah. But I also, since I'm, like, not making these just for fun, and if they turn out too bad, like, or if they don't turn out too bad, I'm making them to, like, feed to people, I figured I should probably do it legit.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to have a screw up and then not have dessert for everyone. I made you guys dessert, but it sucked. Okay, so I'm going to scrape, which I've never been a big bowl scraper when it comes to baking, especially with my KitchenAid. I would even be so lazy sometimes as to just, like, unhinge the bowl and just kind of wiggle it around so that it will get the other stuff. But then when Amber and I were doing our last Christmas cookie baking extravaganza, she convinced me of the necessity of bowl scraping.
Oh.
So it's my new habit. I'm, like, really going for the bowl scraping. At least once to get all that butter off the edge.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
So I believe, beat on low until fluffy, 2 to 3 minutes. Okay. And then it says we're going to keep it on low. Add half of the dry ingredients. Mix in the Dr. Pepper. Add the other half of the dry ingredients as well as the buttermilk.
Cool.
Okay. Those are our last 2 ingredients. So that's a good sign. Okay.
Close.
2 minutes of on low. Okay. Half of those dry ingredients go in there. It says batter should be thick and fluffy. It looks fluffy. It's interesting because the Dr. Pepper gave it kind of a different texture, huh?
Yeah.
I don't want to go crazy. It says just combined, and I'm real bad at over mixing. Or like when I make pie crust, I always want to mix a little extra. And then that's why my pie crust is, like, not as flaky and gorgeous as my Aunt Doretta's pie crust. I use the same pie crust recipe, and hers is always amazing. And mine's like, meh.
It's pie crust.
It's like, eh. Okay. So now we get to dole this out into cupcake dealies. The things which we have still not figured out the name for.
Yeah, what are those called?
I just think cupcake...
Liners?
Oh, maybe cupcake liners. I'm like, cupcake paper? I don't know. All right. And then these have to bake. I mean, we have to make frosting, but we're going to have time to sit and chat.
Woohoo!
It sure looks interesting.
Yeah, it's, like, weird to me that that's going to form my cupcakes.
It seems like somehow fluffier and also wetter, which is a strange combination of things than, like, regular cake batter.
I, like, almost want to try it.
Like, it looks like a mousse almost. Well, here.
It's, like, real, like, soft.
Mm-hmm. It definitely tastes like you have the most hideous look on your face.
It's just, like, so different.
It is very different.
I'm curious to see what they're going to fluff up to bake like.
Because it definitely has, like, a chocolate flavor.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Also a Dr. Pepper flavor. And I imagine some of the fizziness
let me get another little...
is going to go away when we bake it. But it seems, yeah, there's like a weird...
It's cool, though.
Fluffy fizziness to it. It's like soda bread.
Yeah.
Okay. So I already pre-lined our deals.
Cool.
And I'm awful at this, just so you know.
Yeah, me too.
Like, I always make a giant mess, so.
I sometimes use, like, an ice cream scoop.
Oh, that's a good idea. I kind of don't have a regular ice cream
I don't
scoop.
either. I did that when I lived at my parents'.
I usually use just a thing, and I'm trying to recall if it said how full these should be, because they usually 2/3. So you can use that scoopy, and we'll just plop it in there. I'm also not good at gauging things, like what is 2/3?
Right. Not half and not full.
Not half and not 3/4. Right.
That is true.
Which is an odd place to be.
Yeah, I think some of these need to have a lip on.
I know, my first couple look a little shy. Oh my gosh, I had the most insane dreams last night.
Okay, me too. Maybe there's some in the air.
Maybe. We're getting poisoned. It's the chemtrails.
Mine were freaking weird.
I seriously, now, okay, granted, I have been watching a lot of Arrow, so this could have something to do with it.
I think, oh no.
It's okay. It's okay. It is it's almost like a moose. It's very strange.
It is.
So I listen to, as I've mentioned before, all kinds of crazy, like, true crime podcasts, and I put them in and set the timer on my phone and fall asleep to them. Like, no problem. Murder, horrible, terrible things. I never have bad dreams, and it's totally fine. It's like I've watched a bunch of Arrow, and my brain is just freaking out, man.
That's weird.
I had a dream last night that I, like, got kidnapped, and, like, it was, I don't know, we were at the mall, and we went through this, like, side door and went out to, like, a back door, and there was, like, a guy out there, and I saw him, like, getting in a confrontation with a cop, and I was like, oh, no, we gotta get out of here. Then we went to try to go back in that door, and it was locked, and then the guy, like, kidnapped me and held me at gunpoint, and, like, all this crazy stuff, and, like, I think I might have got shot, but, like, I was fine. Like, on Arrow, they're always fine after they get shot.
Yeah.
Just take them back to the basement and stitch them up, right?
Right.
So, I don't know. And then, like, throughout the entire day, I would have these weird little, like, flashback moments of, like, some crazy thing that happened in the dream. And I was like, this is blowing my mind. I'm so freaked out right now. And I'm like, I think I have to quit watching Arrow before I go to bed.
Yeah, mine, I was like, I went to a wedding in New York, but New York was flooded. Like, literally, like, flooded.
I think New York was in my dream, too.
That's strange. And, yeah, I don't even, like, remember most of it. I just remember waking up and being like, what the hell?
Well, and I sometimes wonder, and I mean, this is probably stems from no medical knowledge or background, and totally from, like, that scene in A Christmas Carol when Scrooge says he's having a bad dream and calls one of the ghosts, like, a bit of undigested beef or whatever. So, like, I'm like, did I eat something weird? Like, and that made me have weird dreams. It was very odd. I think this is gonna make, like, just make 24.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
So I'm gonna go pop this in the oven. Rinse out the bowl. All right, our first batch of cupcakes are in the oven. The frosting will be next. All right, we're back.
Hello!
A noisy mixer.
Sorry, I don't know why I needed to do that.
Because we're back.
What up? Yo, yo, yo!
She has a microphone in front of her face again. Jessye somehow.
Party in his house! I feel like I'm, like, was meant to be a DJ.
And also you, like, maybe are from Chapman Town?
Yo, yo, yo!
All right.
Is there Dr. Pepper in the icing, too?
There's Dr. Pepper in the icing.
Whoa.
It's
mind blown.
So the description said that it was not overwhelming, but it's definitely there.
Okay. This lady, I love her, how she says things.
Yeah. So this is going to be some powdered sugar, butter, cream cheese, Dr. Pepper. Boom.
Blogs always crack me up, especially food blogs. Like, I read a lot of them when I'm looking for recipes and stuff online.
Yeah.
And, like, they have to, you know, obviously you can't just post a recipe on your website and call it good. You have to, like, have a story about it. But
and
all their stories, they always crack me up. Like, every Super Bowl, my brother does this and this and this. And then one year I did this. And then out came the idea for this dish. And now it's a must-have at every party. And I'm like, who are you? I mean, it's like, you have to do that. I get it.
Right. Because if you're just like, here's a recipe.
Right.
Then no one would
People like this.
Yeah.
Here we go. But it just,
you have
their
to, like,
stories
sell
always
yourself.
make me laugh. Every time. I'm like, just reading it. I'm like, this is hilarious.
Not me, where I'm like, So I decided I wanted to make some bean dip. So I looked on the internet for a recipe for bean dip. And then I made some bean dip.
That's what mine would be.
Right. She's like,
or
my brother's favorite things are jalapenos and cream cheese. So I thought I would incorporate them into a fabulous dish for our Super Bowl get-together.
or mine would be like, because I take every recipe and then take out a bunch of stuff I don't like because I'm a picky eater. So I think my blog would be like recipes without all the gross stuff. I found this recipe on Pinterest. Here is my altered version without onions or spicy things.
Who puts walnuts in cheese? Gross.
For the bland eaters.
You could have a bland blog.
I've actually thought about it before. You're kidding.
I know so many people who would be right up your alley.
Yeah.
I mean, I know
people need recipes without onions, okay, people?
I worked with a girl who lived off of, I kid you not, white rice and saltine crackers. I was like, how are you functioning?
No, that's not nutrition.
No, she like...
I still make nutritionist meals. Nutritionist? Nutritious meals. They just don't have onions.
Oh, well, that's okay.
Because I don't like onions. And I mean, usually I take out, there's always something I take out of a recipe.
No,
almost always.
Is it the texture of the onion? Or the flavor?
It's the flavor. Oh. There's one.
I feel like everything I cook has onions in it. Have I made you food and you've been like spitting onions
I don't
out
know.
On the side?
I don't know if you've ever made me food, to be honest.
Know. Usually we go out.
I can sometimes do it if they're like really cooked, but I don't know what it is. It's the flavor. There's one day Blake and I got Taco Bell, right? And I'm on the freeway. I don't remember where we're going, but I'm eating my Taco Bell. And I accidentally grabbed Blake's burrito instead of my burrito.
Oh, no.
I took a bite, right? And, you know, there's just, it's just raw onions.
And, okay, I'm not a big raw onion fan. Unless it's in salsa, all mixed up in the salsa. I can deal with it there.
It's the texture, too, because I don't like crunchy either. Especially when I bite into a Taco Bell burrito. It should be soft and smooth. No, I don't like the taste of celery either.
Oh, see, Adam doesn't either. Well, I have to say, when you get those burritos at Taco Bell and you do get onions on them, the bean to onion ratio is so insane.
It is.
There's so many onions. Nobody needs that many onions in their life.
Yep.
So I get that.
Yeah, so I took a bite of Blake's burrito with onions, not expecting there to be onions. And, like, first bite, and I was like, oh! And Blake's like, what is wrong with you? And I'm like, ugh! And I, like, rolled the window down, no joke, stuck my head out the window, middle of the freeway, and spit Taco Bell burrito out of my mouth.
Classy.
He was like, what just happened? And I was like, I think this is your burrito, or they screwed my burrito up.
Your burrito. His burrito. Your burrito.
So.
Oh my goodness.
It was really great. But.
Yeah. Well, I have to say, I'm not a big, if there's raw onion on anything, I'm very much like, and even like you go to Great Harvest and they have their most amazing salads in the world.
Right.
And like it comes with sliced up onion on it. I don't even want it on there and then pick it off because it like contaminates everything with onion smell.
Yep.
I can't. I definitely am not a raw onion fan. I think the only reason it's okay in like salsa is because like the acidity of the tomato juice must like cut something out. Yeah. You know?
I don't even, when I eat salsa, I just dip my chip in and I don't get any like gunk.
Oh, you
I
don't
just
want the
do
junk.
Salsa
you just
juice.
Want juice.
Yep.
Gotcha. Well, I definitely like the texture. And I like a fresh, like Kyle, my brother, will make salsa out of his garden. Like he will grow all the different peppers and the tomatoes and the onions and all the stuff, and then he'll and cilantro and make it himself, and it's amazing. And it's very chunky and super fresh, and I like that. But if you just threw raw onion anywhere near my food, I would be like, eh.
No. I think I kind of got that too from my mom. My mom will take just salsa you buy in a can right at the store, and she mixes it before she eats it. She beats it more.
Oh, so it's puree.
Less chunky.
Yeah. Okay.
Cracks me up every time she does it because I'm like, that's really great.
You can get different kinds of salsa that are just already super pureed, right?
Yeah.
Maybe she just likes the flavor of that one.
Yeah, it could be.
I don't know. I
Can't tell you what my mom
salsa.
does.
And I don't know if I like it or if I just am in the habit of, like, I learned to chop up onion and put it in every soup I make, you know?
Yeah, I learned to avoid any type of onion because that's what I taught myself.
That's okay.
We did have dinner once.
I fed you dinner?
Adam, yo hubby, I think, was like barbecuing salmon and asparagus.
That's right. Don't let him fool you. I prepared all of that.
I'm sure, but he barbecued it. So he's got to get a little credit because he's a man. You can't take that away from him. You know?
Oh, yes, I can. Because when he barbecues, he comes in and says, how long am I supposed to barbecue this for? It's okay.
That's great.
Before we were together, he never lived like a real grown-up life. He always had roommates and, like, he never cooked anything because you don't. And, yeah, I mean, he just never, like, lived by himself and just, like, actually did stuff like that. So, he's had to learn. So, I just checked the cupcakes. They're, like, making little mounds, which I don't know. I'm never sure if the cupcakes are supposed to do that or not. Do you want them to have little mounds? And then when you decorate over the top of them, it's, like, even more of a mound? Or do you want it to be more flat so you can, like, get it even... I don't know these things. Okay, orientated?
I got a little outside the lines.
That's okay. You know what it reminds me of? Do you remember, did you ever watch Gone Girl?
I did.
Yeah. You remember their first kiss? They're, like, outside of the powdered sugar factory.
No.
And it's all, like, it looks like it's, like, snowing. It's all sparkly and adorable.
I must not remember that part. See, I could watch a movie a million times and never... It's like a new movie every time.
Well, the great thing about when we watched Gone Girl was I'd already read the book. And so the whole time I, like, already knew what was coming, and I was like, shh, dumb bitch. Like, you know, I mean, I was totally... And Adam... And I knew, because it doesn't exactly have a happy ending. It ends with, like, well, this is the life you chose, and now you're stuck with this, right. You know. Make the best out of it, or whatever. And Adam was, like, super jaded when he watched it. He was like, I cannot believe it! And I was like, yeah, I knew that was going to happen, because I already read the book, and it's lame.
Yeah, it was like nobody had any idea that was ever, well, unless you read the book. But I'm sure even in the book, you were like, what the heck?
No, I, like, knew something was up in the book, but there's a significant portion of it before you start to see her, like, before her voice comes back, you know? And then you start hearing her, like, what she's up to this whole time. Yeah, I was like, oh, okay. That is why you don't mess with women. Chicks are crazy. Who's Batman to you?
Batman to me is, well, I'm kind of like in the middle.
Okay, because I have a feeling of who you're in the middle of, and if you say the person that I think you're going to say, I might have to smack a bitch.
Well, like, I think by the time I was, like, alive and really, like, ready to... like, watch an adult Batman movie, it's Christian Bale.
Okay. I can live with Christian Bale as Batman.
Okay.
He's a great...
Who were you thinking I was
He was a great Batman. I was worried that you were in that terrible era where Val Kilmer was Batman, and Val Kilmer is not Batman.
No.
And I'm sorry, but George Clooney is also not Batman.
Val Kilmer wasn't even going to come up in my thought process.
Batman to me is... I love the Christian Bale Batmans, honestly. Yeah, he was really good, and I loved, because there is that whole dark stream in Batman, like that side of things. He really played that really well.
Yeah, I think so too.
But, like, Batman, like, bang, boom, pow, Batman has got to be Michael Keaton to me.
Yeah. I think I'm a little young.
For the Michael Keaton?
Yeah. Oh. I can't even say I've, like... Well, like I said, I can watch a movie and never remember I ever watched it. So, have I seen it? Who knows?
Oh, yeah. My brother and I watched those movies obsessively when we were kids. And I have a fear of clowns, and he has a fear of penguins. And we, in recent years, were talking about it and we were like, oh my God, is it because of Batman? Like, did we watch too much Batman when we were kids? Because the Joker and the Penguin. I'm like, is that where our, like, deep-seated fears are?
That could be. I saw, like, a Facebook thing about, you know, like the 4 different Jokers of recent days.
Right.
And just kind of how, I mean, they all look pretty similar, but, you know, just a little different. Oh. The new Joker. What's his name?
Jared Leto.
Ugh. Yeah. Okay. We're not going to watch the new Batman, I think.
Okay, so I was...
He's just weird.
Jack Nicholson was a great Joker.
He was.
He's sick and twisted.
And
then Heath Ledger
was
like...
fantastic, obviously.
Out of
I don't think
this
that's
world
debatable,
amazing.
really. Yeah.
Not as Batman. As Joker.
As Batman. Did you all see that movie?
Do you remember that one? No, he was so great as Joker. And part of the reason that I think that I'm so just in love with his performance, and I also am, it like makes me sad happy, is because I think part of the reason he got so depressed was because he stayed in character.
Well, yeah, he's a method actor.
And he just put too much into that role. You know?
It definitely could be.
Which is like...
sad.
Yeah, like really sad. And then like this crazy sacrifice of your life for your art, you know?
Yeah.
It's kind of wild to think about. But I mean, he was just great.
Yeah.
But Jack Nicholson was much more... I mean, those were in like 2 different threads of like the Batman story. Yeah. You know, it was the like more kitschy,
right,
funny Batman versus the like more serious, dark Batman.
Yeah. Like, and the Joker really didn't make a whole lot of jokes. Like Heath Ledger Joker.
Right.
Like, I don't think one.
Well, that one where he shoved the pencil through the guy's head was pretty funny.
Oh, okay. You're right. Super funny joke.
But yeah. So I mean, like, I can respect those 2 Batmans and Jokers like
separately,
equally and opposite,
right?
You know, like because they were kind of different.
You don't have to compare them,
right? But Jared Leto, I was
and maybe it'll work. He's weird and creepy, just himself. So can he turn a creepy character creepier? Maybe.
But I mean, geez, it doesn't matter who it is. If you're filling Heath Ledger's shoes, like, you're not going to.
Yeah.
Like, no matter who stepped into that role, can you think of a person who you'd be like, yeah,
they could do it?
Mm.
Yeah.
So I think he's just got a bad rap for that.
Yeah, you gotta have balls to take that.
Just
that
take
job.
It on.
Yeah,
for sure. Now, I was a little nervous going into the last Batman movie because I thought, like, oh, you know, is this... Or actually, even Suicide Squad, I was worried it was going to be way too, like, Joker-centric.
I haven't seen that.
Oh, it was amazing. It was so good.
You're the only person I've ever heard, I think, that said it was amazing.
Really? I loved it. It was great.
I mostly heard that was the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Don't see it.
Well, you have to know the whole story behind the Suicide Squad, I think, to really get into it.
Yeah, so I probably wouldn't like it.
No, it was a good movie. It really was. Everyone is crazy, and that's, like, part of the fun. But
that was the creepiest face Tabitha ever made. I wish I had it filmed. It's kind of fun, guys.
I was worried that Joker was gonna, like, steal the limelight and then also ruin that movie. I was worried it was gonna be, like, Joker-centric, but it wasn't. So,
that's good.
Actually, if anything, it was, like, Harley Quinn-centric, which Margot Robbie plays a psychotic person so well. Like, you never doubt that she is just nuts. It was great. I really liked it, actually. So, maybe he'll be okay. I'm still not excited about Ben Affleck as Batman.
It's weird.
It's like, I feel like he's trying too hard.
Yeah, I can see that.
You know? And like, he has, like, to do the deep voice and all the stuff. Like, it's like he's like, I don't know. It's reaching. Sorry, Ben Affleck.
Love ya.
I'm not going to go there.
You want to buy us some wine? We're down.
Okay. I have to say, if I'm going to come out in any side, it's going to be Jennifer Garner's because she's adorbs. All right.
Dr. Pepper into the frosting,
Dr. Pepper
y'all.
time. Whoops.
Dr. Pepper time.
I flipped that cream cheese in there. And I was looking.
Jessye's finger in the cream cheese time.
I think that it says you can add up to 6 tablespoons. I think it says start with 4. Or more powdered sugar to get the flavor consistency you like. So, basically, we have a basic cream cheese frosting right now.
It's just what she described.
It's...
The Dr. Pepper's there, but it's not like...
It's not overpowering. I don't know, what do you
the
think?
way that she had it pictured, like, I don't see that doing that. I made a wedding cupcake cake for my friend that got married, and it was like a bunch of cupcakes in the shape of a wedding dress. Have I ever shown you this?
No.
Because actually, I was really proud of it. It turned out so cute.
Was it for... Oh, that's so cute. That's for Sandra?
Yeah.
That is adorable. Was that for her, like, her bridal shower or something?
Yeah.
Aw. That is really sweet.
It was fun. And, like, nobody ate dessert. I was, like, so frustrated. I'm like, ate my dress!
Okay. Let's see what we think.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
It's light. Fluffy.
It's delish.
Dr. Pepper-ish. Cream cheese-ish. Dr. Pepper cream cheese frosting. Who knew?
Like, I want to put this on all my cupcakes, not even Dr. Pepper cupcakes.
Yeah, it's delicious. It has, like, this light bit of, like, fizzy flavor that is glorious.
And the cream cheeses.
All right, well, cupcakes are cooling. Frosting is made. I'll say it's a success once I have them decorated. Hopefully that all goes well. And then I'll take lots of cute pictures.
Great.
Because I'm pretty sure they're going to be the cutest thing we've made so far.
I don't know. I really like my little wood round.
Your wood round turned out so great.
I still got to hang it up, though. I'm like...
I have mine done, and I ended up making another one that was just a circle, not the scallops. I'm running out of wine. I'm gonna need some more.
I thought you were gonna cheers me.
Well, you can cheers me.
Oh, you. No, so I was gonna ask.
Your phone's blowing up tonight. What's going on?
Dude, my mom, she's always blowing up my phone. I can't even tell you.
Tell her we're in the middle of a podcast, Mother.
It doesn't matter what I'm in the middle of. She is one of those texters where, like, she can't say all she needs to say in one text. You know, it's like...
I tend to do that.
2 words.
Oh, no, I'll send a really long one, and then I'll be like, oh, and I had another thought.
My dad got her, like, sconces for Christmas, and she just hung them up, and she had to, like, tell me about them. So,
shout out to your mom for being a crafty bitch, too.
Yep. Go, Mom! Yo, yo, yo!
And also for probably wilting if she knew that I called her a crafty bitch.
She said something the other day, like, this is a job for the craftiest bitches. And I was like, Mom, we're not even called that anymore.
Well, no, I still think we are the craftiest bitches. That's just not the name of the podcast.
But it was funny to hear my mom say that.
That's cute.
But yeah, so my mom is blowing up my phone. I'm not that popular. But no, so Blake's little sister just turned 21 today. Big day, right?
Oh my goodness.
And
y'all aren't out partying.
No, she works tomorrow morning at 5 o'clock. She got
5 a.m.
Yeah.
Where is she working?
Well, tomorrow's her first day.
Oh.
So they called on Friday, was like, we want you to start Tuesday at 5, you know, so it's like, you can't really say no.
Being a responsible adult.
Yeah, you can't really say no because somebody's offering you a job.
That's the true stamp of now you're an adult.
Yeah.
Not that you can go to a bar, but that you are not going to a bar because you have to work in the morning.
Yeah, so I think this next weekend I think she texted Blake and said I just bought my first beer at Chili's.
Right, just went and had a drink and then was like,
so
that's fun.
I made her this, we like obviously bought, because I asked Blake, I'm like, what do you want to get your sister for her birthday, right? He's like, a bottle of alcohol. You know, that's the man's gift for everything, right? Which
not wrapped, still with the price tag on it.
Right. Which, don't get me wrong, I buy a lot of bottles of wine for people.
Sure, that's fine. Wine's classier than, like, here's a 40.
So we did buy her a bottle of wine, but I'm like, we gotta get her something else. Like, it's her 21st. It's like a big day, right? But then I was like, no, we have to do something else. Like, it's her 21st birthday. You know, you have to, like, do something.
Give her something that she can keep.
Right.
Besides the memory of a hangover.
I wouldn't say this she's gonna keep.
Oh.
But, so I made her this, I looked on Pinterest, I made her this thing called an oh shit kit.
Mm-hmm.
And so it just had, like, a bunch of hangover stuff in it. So we...
Oh, cute.
It's like what Blake and I would... Well, mostly what Blake uses for a hangover, because hangovers, like, kill him.
Oh.
I'm, like, okay within, like, a couple hours. But, so we put Pedialyte in it, and Advil, some ginger ale, some coconut water, and, like, a gift card to In-N-Out.
That's so cute.
But what else would you put? Like, what do you use for hangovers? That was my question. That's all what this whole story came to. Because we're, like, walking around the store, like, what else?
Okay, so my, like, hangover ritual is, if I drink too much, about 3 or 4 hours into crashing, I wake up and I have, like, more energy. Like, the point of, like, feeling like I'm sick, anxiety type shakiness energy. Oh. So my usual routine is to then get up because I can't sleep and I feel like crazy awful. And I think it's because of like the sugar content.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when you go out and you like drink, you end up drinking a bunch of sugary stuff.
Yeah.
And you don't eat that great. And then I have hypoglycemia, so I shouldn't be doing this anyways. And so I think like my like blood sugar is like whacked and then it just crashes. So what I usually do is get up and like make peanut butter toast.
Okay.
Eat a banana. Potassium, hydration,
cool.
Whatnot.
Love it.
And then I like to always, well, I mean, I usually have some kind of like green juice on hand because I like to drink it anyways. But if I don't, I will get some like Odwalla, like the green machine, like because I'm like, I used to, when I would drink a lot, I would go get like wheatgrass shots.
Okay.
The next day. So just, I like do that. And then I have chlorella, which is just like the green like plant food stuff. And I used to take it often, but just because, but I usually take that and Advil and then try to go back to sleep. And I mean, I drink a ton of water. So I like try to give my body like protein, vitamins, stuff that'll help clean up my system.
Interesting.
Lots of water.
That sounds much smarter than Blake's. Just fill yourself with Pedialyte.
Yeah, I don't know that that's doing much. I mean, you do need, like, the electrolytes and everything to balance, and you have to have potassium to be able to absorb your water, you know, so I get that to some extent.
Yeah, I don't know. Somebody told him that was a trick, and now that's, like, his favorite thing.
That's his thing.
Which was funny. So one time...
Now, the next day, I would probably go for some ginger ale or...
Oh, I love ginger ale.
I actually have gotten completely over ginger ale. I used to be a real ginger ale snob. And, like, I would only drink Seagram's, and then that meant, like, hunting it down because it was difficult to find.
Yeah.
Now they have it at Target, so that's nice. But, now I've wandered into the world of ginger beer, and ginger ale is just so, like, meh. It's, like, doesn't have any flavor. It's not, the ginger beer is, like, spicy, and there's little chunks in it, and it's, like, cloudy and thick and glorious.
I don't know if I like ginger beer.
It's the best. And I've got variations, like, I started out, it's just like wine, you know, you start out with, like, the sweet, like, light stuff, and then you, like, keep going. And so I started out with, like, different ones that were, like, milder, and now my favorite one is Cock and Bull, which I guess, I mean, they claim they made the Moscow Mule. So, but it's super, like, it's got, like, a kick to it. It's, like, spicy. It's delicious. So you gotta try some ginger beer.
I gotta try some. Every time I hang out with Tab, I got new things I gotta try or listen to or something, man. Makes my life real difficult.
And then I just keep drinking wine because you remember that scripture in the Bible that says you should drink wine for your stomach? That's what I'm doing.
Done, God, thanks.
Yep. Cheers, God. Jesus made water into wine. We can cheers him.
Yeah, Jesus was totes a wine drinker.
Cheers, Jesus.
Go, Jesus. I'm not going to cheers because I have an empty glass.
You're out, so you can't cheers. And I'm going to cheers my last little bit.
Whoop.
Okay, there's powdered sugar everywhere.
Our glasses are empty.
So I guess that's it.
Bye, Felicia.
I thought you were going to say,
oh,
drink up.
Gosh, damn it. Drink up.
You have craft to do.
Bye, Felicia.
Bye.